Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind. We've got to tackle leftist naivete today. When are we going to have an honest conversation about culture? When are we going to have an honest conversation about right and wrong? About basic societal standards? I don't know about you guys, but I'm waiting for us as a society to do what our ancestors did. Set a basic set of standards, mostly cultural standards, and enforce those standards through, I guess we could say, intersocietal means, That's how it's always been done, Through the family, through shame, through judgment. Certain things are deemed acceptable and certain things are deemed unacceptable. In an older culture, that used to matter. How you dressed, how you spoke, how you treated people, how you moved, how you ate. There were standards. The previous generations, they were classy, they were family-oriented. Now what do we have? We have no standards anymore. The idea of judgment or the idea of shame is viewed as regressive, bigoted, an old way of thinking. Now all we ever seem to do is not want to offend people. We back off. Oh, it's a culture. It's youth culture. If you say anything about it, well, you're being just a bigoted racist. No, those kind of leftist ideals are frankly stupid, and it is time to have a moment of reckoning. It's time to honestly speak of, it's time to seriously tackle cultural issues that we face in the modern day. Enough with the rugged, classless, criminal element. Enough with justifying it, enough with gaslighting people who mention concerns. Basically, enough of whatever this nonsense is. Leftoids are furious as the city of Philadelphia is now proposing and passing a ski mask ban. Supposedly, this is a bad thing according to your far leftist BLM activist, but it really isn't. It's a basic standard, a societal standard that everybody should agree with. Excuse the vague intro, but trust me, it's going to make sense here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, let's just start off with this clip right over here. Here's what's happening right now in the city of Philadelphia.
I have a ski mask on. I didn't cause any harm to anybody. I don't plan on causing any harm to anybody.
You could get fined $250 for wearing a ski mask in public in Philly. The city council just passed legislation banning these in places like parks, daycares, city buildings, and more.
Nice.
The councilman who introduced the bill says it's centered around a public safety issue.
We move forward and we make progress as a people and city when we remove our masks and show who we are with all of our beautiful potential.
This proposal feels more like an attempt to further criminalize young people of color.
The bill was passed in a vote on Thursday. The mayor still needs to sign off, and then it will go into effect immediately.
And the response that I've seen has been mostly stuff like this. Here's an individual who goes by the name of Stu on Twitter who writes, "They passing laws that target black people again, y'all."
You're weird, buddy. You're weird.
How incredibly stupid. And I've seen so many Democrats basically parroting the same kind of talking point. They're targeting black people, y'all. This is racist. This is discriminatory. No, it isn't. It's a basic frickin' standard. We shouldn't have youths running around our cities with freaking ski masks and balaclavas, armed with AK-47s, running rampant, doing whatever they want, victimizing our communities and the hardworking people who are the backbone of our society. Like, how is this even a conversation? How is anybody opposed to this? In what world is there honestly ever an excuse to be wearing a frickin' ski mask? I'm 31 years old. I've gone 31 years living through this world. I've wore a ski mask maybe a couple times, and it's not even really a ski mask. I've wore a ski mask maybe 100 or more times when I was snowboarding as a kid growing up. There was a reason as to why I was wearing that. I didn't just randomly wear a ski mask, loose Jordans and tight, skinny, ripped jeans, and a hoodie with a frickin' 9mm in my waist. We gotta be able to identify a distinction here. Not to mention, Philadelphia doesn't even really get that cold. I mean, they have winter, but, it's kind of a mild winter. It's nothing really crazy. You don't need a frickin' ski mask in Philadelphia. There's nothing racist about it. Let's have an honest conversation about basic societal standards and what it is to be a dignified human being living in a civilized society. Enough is enough. And I'm not sitting here arguing that we should be doing it through government. I think government's arguably the worst place to do it. I don't think, a lot of these masks or even clothing in general should be banned by the government. I don't think we should have government regulated dress codes. But as a society, we need to figure out how to bring back decency. We need to figure out how to culturally enforce basic standards. Take a look at any historical footage from even like 40 or 50 years ago, the idea that you would be seeing roaming gangs of youths in balaclavas is just something unheard of. The idea that it would just be a common occurrence for young kids wearing ski masks to be ransacking stores and robbing people in the streets or hijacking people's cars, it's never been the reality that we've had to live with. If you look at archival video footage of America in its foundational years, or at least in its foundational years relating to economic development, for the most part, you saw people dressed up in nice hats and tailored suits and tailored jackets. There was a cultural standard of dressing properly and appropriately and speaking appropriately. And it wasn't even a racial thing back then because it wasn't just white people. This used to be quintessential black culture. That's what it used to be. Now it's this. Notice the difference, huh? It's not racist to say that the photo on the right here, isn't exactly a good look. It's not racist to have an issue with criminal culture and the criminal element. In fact, I'd argue it's anti-racist. Balaclava ski mask culture, gangster rap culture, is arguably the worst thing to happen to the black community in history, by far. Some would even argue that it's probably a CIA-ran psyop to glamorize crime, drug use, the breakdown of the nuclear family, the list goes on. It all comes from a point of culture. And the idea that we should be intimidated or scared, that we should feel a reluctance or a hesitancy to call out this clear plague, this disease, is unbelievable. People should be rejoicing in the idea of a society frustrated with roaming gangs of youths dressed in all black with freaking ski masks on. People should be grouped together in bipartisan fashion, collectively outraged over the idea that we are being victimized in our streets and that these young kids are being victimized by this criminal underworld. It is anti-racist to have an issue with balaclava ski mask culture. It is anti-racist to have an issue with gangster rap that promotes and glamorizes a violent culture of murder, assault, hedonism, misogyny. Banning ski masks in public buildings and public locations is step number 1. Step number 2 is a collective outrage and honestly a national reckoning with record labels, media agencies, Hollywood in general, TV, movies, music videos, music in general. It's time to have a real conversation, and honestly, it's time to go back towards a culture of dignity, class, respect, most importantly, not just respect for others and respect for community and society, but respect for oneself. It's time to have an honest conversation about what we're seeing, an honest conversation about the problems. Because obviously this leftist copium and this accusation of racism for anybody who calls out the obvious facts, obviously this strategy hasn't worked and minority communities are suffering as an end result. Anyways, it's kind of hard to make these videos off the top of my head. Hopefully I did a good job though. Hopefully you guys understand the picture. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to convey here. If you did and you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, friends, and I will see you on the next one.